A lot of new faces this time around. I mean, Tony Cameranase's a bit of a veteran, but I guess for the rest of the gang, it's relatively new, and you got to be pleased with what you've seen.
Well, we have a new draft class, and then we have obviously guys that graduate from the program, but we have another new interesting group of shapes and sizes, and obviously Russian, Swedish, Canadian, American. We've got a wide range of kids in different shapes and sizes, and it's again, it's been a good week so far. We're only into day 3, but we've had 3 successful, productive days.
And for the guys who've been here, they've said it's valuable to get here. So I can only imagine what it is like for the newcomers and their endeavors to make it to the next level, and how important these 4 or 5 days will be for them.
Yeah, and I think it's overwhelming at times for them because there's a lot of information. And that's why we have the kids write notes so they can retain the information, because there's no way that they can remember things that happened on Monday once Friday comes. So you know, between the nutritionalist and the power skating and the strength and conditioning that Bells is doing, the immediate awareness, I mean, it's always, the program is similar to what it's been the last few years, but there's a lot of instruction going on, there's a lot of teaching, and obviously we want to see a lot of learning.
The talent level with the Swedes, does that get you a little excited? Just the top end potential that guys like Nylander, Johnson, Nielsen all have?
And Louvre. So we've got some smooth skating, talented people, and they all have good skill sets. They all had good years, and yeah, we're excited about each one of those guys. All 4 of the people that you just mentioned. You know, Willie is obviously a great hockey player, and you can see his skating and you can see his skill sets. They're elite. But more importantly, we're getting the opportunity to know him as a person. And this is a kid that's been parented correctly. He's humble. He's respectful. He's got a glowing personality. I mean, it's really he's a fun kid to talk to and be around. It's but you can see the character in the person, regardless of how he is as a hockey player. Like the person is almost better than the hockey player. It's really an interesting thing, and I probably would credit his parents and probably the coaches that he had at a young age, because he's a special kid.
Brendan told us that one of the reasons they've got some holes in the NHL team is that they want players from this camp and the Marlies to compete for those jobs. Are you witnessing, I mean, that's a good message for these kids. Are you witnessing them almost stepping up their game, knowing that there's opportunities with this team that might not have existed a few years ago?
And Brendan had basically had his mission statement at dinner a few nights ago, and he made it crystal clear to the people in the room that, you know, some of these kids are going to be vital pieces and impact pieces to our team moving forward, and that we want to develop from within. We want to build our own players and have our own foundation, and I think we've been doing that for the past couple of years, certainly. But for Brendan to come in and make that statement, and for the kids to hear Brendan's thoughts, philosophy, theory, and so on is very important for them to obviously hear, and it's a very positive message, and it worked out well.
How many of the Swedes, other than Pierre Engvall, do you expect to be over in North America, potentially with the Marlies this year?
Maybe 3, and I think it's too early to really determine that yet, but potentially, I think possibly 3 of them. And you know, we purposely have left some kids over in Sweden, like a Granberg, because they were in such good situations. Why extract them and pull them out of a good spot when they're getting good coaching, and they're gaining man strength and playing big minutes in the Swedish Elite League. So every player is different, and we look into each one of their situations to see if they're in a good spot, if they're ready to come over. Should we leave them, or should we take them now? So it's sort of a you know, it's interesting dynamics with each and every player, and we find out where they're at in terms of their progression.
It seems like Frölunda is one of those programs that really plays youngsters and gives them a shot. Is that something that you've noticed? Well,
we've gone over that. I saw Nielsen play 3 or 4 times this year, and he's playing 20+ minutes a game. The coaching is terrific where he's at, and I mean, you could see his habits and his details in his game. They've got a great strength and conditioning program. They coach the kids from a skill set, and then they coach them from the X's and O's and the teaching concepts. So they're well schooled. So Tommy Nielsen would be a perfect example of a guy that it's probably time for him to come on over and now experience the North American game and get in with our Marley group and to basically duplicate what Granberg did last year.
Your NCAA guys like Tony and Dom, it's important to see what they can do here because they obviously won't get a shot at rookie camp until later down the road. It's
always important for the U.S. college kids, and we only have a few. It's not like we have a whole lot of them, but it's really important for them to come up to get this kind of exposure in Toronto against major junior players, kids that may be 2 or 3 years older than they are. So it's really good exposure to find out the barometer of where they're at for themselves. And then it also, we have the opportunity to gather intelligence, information on, where they're at and the time frame of what's happening in their career.
Do you look at the accomplishments of like Matt Finn making the Memorial Cup final, Johnson with Rookie of the Year, Connor Brown with the scoring title, and take pride in maybe being a part of it? Listen, the kids, they're the engine, and we just give suggestions, we nurture them, we teach them, we talk to them, we give them the truth, we give them the bad and the good news and the bad news, but at the end of the day, it's the players that they have dreams, they have aspirations, they're determined kids, and they have a path and they know where they want to get to, and you're talking about 3 special kids there, and they're all working hard at their trade.